What's up, guys? This is Moms here with Nintendo Sports, and we have a lot to talk about. First off, the coronavirus going around, shutting down the NBA for probably 8 weeks, and fans likely won't even come back when it does start to play again. And the first thing I really thought about when I saw this was the Brooklyn Nets, and more specifically, Kevin Durant, because Kevin Durant made comments earlier in the year that he thought it might be possible that he returns for the playoffs. And that was before all this happened. So now you're tacking on an extra 2 months. And of course, his agent had to come out, or manager had to come out and say, honestly, not very realistic from my standpoint, and not even spoken about. And yeah, that's a buzzkill, but let's really think about this. You have a top 5 player that could be returning to play with another top 15 player, Kyrie Irving, with a loaded team of Spencer Dinwiddie, Karis LeVert, Taurean Prince, DeAndre Jordan, Garrett Allen. Loaded team all around, and it's not every day a team has a legitimate chance to win a championship with a top 5 player on the roster. So let's just think about all that, and let's look at some stats right quick. So Kyrie Irving, he's dealt with huge injury problems all season, only playing 20 games, but averaging 27.5 points, 5 rebounds, 6.5 assists, shooting 48% from the field, 39.5% from the three-point line, and 92% from the free throw line. So his shooting numbers have been on point this year. All around, he's played pretty good. Now, their win-loss record hasn't been great with him. They're just right around 500, but that's okay. Now looking at Spencer Dinwiddie, who's averaged 20.5 points, 3.5 rebounds, 7 assists, shot pretty decent all around from the field. Not great, but he's not that great of a shooter. But I believe he's been the best healthy player on this team this year, and he should have been an all-star because they're a playoff team, and he's leading them to the playoffs as being the best player on the team because he's played, the most games. That's your backup point guard who could also play shooting guard. Now looking at Karis LeVert, another guy that's dealt with tons of injuries this year, averaging 17.7 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists. And again, pretty solid shooting numbers, 38% from the three-point line. That's pretty solid, definitely for a younger guy. So you're already seeing the depth at the guard position, but let's talk about what they have down low, which are two, close to being all-star players. First, in Jarrett Allen, averaging 10.6 points, 9.5 rebounds, and 1.3 assists, shooting almost 65% from the field. That's incredible, and he's not given enough credit with a PER of 20.3. So that's your 21-year-old center down there, putting all that production. And not is he alone, because he has DeAndre Jordan averaging 8.3 points, 10 rebounds, 2 assists, shooting 66.6% from the field. It's just incredible that neither of these, this duo has not been talked about almost at all in the mainstream media, and yet they're putting up huge numbers, almost both averaging a double-double down low while sharing minutes. So this team is deep, and there are a lot of other players that I'm not going to show their statistics. Garrett Temple, Joe Harris, Taurean Prince, all around, this team is loaded top to bottom. They can make a deep run even without KD. So we're talking about adding a top 5 player to one of the deepest teams in the league that really isn't getting the media attention they deserve just because Kyrie isn't playing. And Spencer Dinwiddie and Karis LeVert aren't going to get you the headlines like Kyrie and Kevin Durant will. So next, let's look at the standings and just kind of see if the NBA ended today, which they might call it a season. It's possible. I doubt it. I highly doubt it, but it's possible. The Nets would play the Raptors in the first round, and then the second round most likely play the Celtics. Okay, so let's just think about what I just said. In the first round, Kevin Durant will be playing the Toronto Raptors, the last team he actually played an NBA game against that beat him in the finals because he tore his Achilles. That will be the first matchup. Think about how primetime that will be. It will probably be the most watched matchup easily. Kevin Durant's coming back and playing the Raptors who beat him last year in the finals. Huge. Now let's think about second round. Who would they be playing? The Boston Celtics, Kyrie Irving's old team. It's box office. This would be huge. Kemba Walker versus Kyrie in the semifinals of the East with Kevin Durant going up against Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. So this would be one of the most anticipated matchups we've seen in a long time with Kyrie, Kemba facing off. And in the Eastern Finals, they would face off against either Butler and the Heat or Giannis and the Bucks, which are 2 loaded teams and probably the 2 best players in the East right now. So all around, just so much could happen, so much potential if Kevin Durant comes back. And let's talk about in the finals, we get a rematch, LeBron versus Kevin Durant with Kyrie Irving playing against LeBron. It's just so much potential. Or we could get Kevin Durant versus the Clippers, which would be pretty cool to see. Or Kevin Durant versus the Rockets, but that's not going to happen because the Rockets won't make it out of the first round. But all around, this is just so much potential. And you're saying, so what's the trade-off? Trade-off is Kevin Durant could re-injure himself, which I highly doubt because he'd probably be doing full contact, full speed practices anyway by that point of the year in July. But he could be hurt. But the other trade-off, you don't win a finals, you don't win a championship. And right now, I bet the front office saying, it's okay, we have 2 years. If me and you, the viewer, knows anything about the NBA, stuff happens, bad stuff happens. You don't get that many second chances in the league. Just think about all the teams that were so great and injuries or just 1 or 2 bad games ruined it. Think about the Clippers with CP3, Lob City, Blake Griffin, DeAndre Jordan. Think about how loaded those teams were. J.J. Redick, Jamal Crawford, Matt Barnes. Never won a title, never even made it to the conference finals. And that was a loaded team. And that's just because situational and they blow 1 or 2 games. So let's say the Nets don't play Kevin Durant. Then next year, Kyrie or KD sprains their ankle, misses a game or 2, and boom, they're out of the playoffs. Brooklyn never wins a title with this duo and this great team, and it was pretty much all for none. So the title is what you're going to be remembered by, and just think about how much has to go right. So you're just going to miss a whole probably 3-year. You have a 3-year period that you're probably going to win a championship with this team or not. So are you going to miss that opportunity because you don't want him to possibly get re-injured? And at some point, anybody can get injured. We all know how the league works. People get injured at home. John Wall was out a whole extra year because he tore something in his house. Paul George playing for USA Basketball. The Olympics are coming up, and Kevin Durant said he might even try to play in the Olympics, which is this summer, which would have been now. I literally just remember that point, and I'm sorry I haven't mentioned it earlier, but this could happen. I mean, so any injury can happen at any time. So let's go out there and win a title, Brooklyn. Okay, you have Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving, Spencer Dinwiddie, Karis LeVert, DeAndre Jordan, Jared Allen, Taurean Prince, Joe Harris, Garrett Temple, Wilson Chandler. Loaded team. Go out and win a championship. So that's my message to the Brooklyn Nets and the Kevin Durant's camp and all of that. Kevin Durant isn't getting any younger. DeAndre Jordan definitely isn't getting any younger. You don't have many prime years left of the older players on your roster. And, of course, LeVert and Dinwiddie are going to get a lot better with Allen. But let's just be realistic. You probably have 3 years to win this title. So let's go out there and do it. So that's all I have to say. Let me know what you think about the Brooklyn Nets. If Kevin Durant comes back 100% with a healthy LeVert and Irvin, will they win the East? So let me know what you think. And everybody stay safe. Wash your hands. Be with your families. Don't go out if you feel bad. Just basic stuff. So I'll talk to you guys later. Have a great day.